Okay, I am sitting down to make this podcast because there's something I am super excited and inspired about in this moment and lately in general. And I've touched on it a little bit in maybe the last one or a couple podcasts, but I think that it deserves its own space, if you will. So here we are. And that is about truly moving from within your own alignment. And this is going to sound crazy to some people. This is probably going to trigger some people, and that is awesome. We're breaking through. If you are one of the people who is triggered by this, please feel free to reach out to me and we will have wonderful conversations. But basically, what I'm finding in my life right now is I am currently in a commitment for about the next 6 months or so that I want to see out, that feels in alignment to me. I want to be here. I want to finish it out. And after that, there's nothing really on my plate for life. And I'm finding myself in this beautiful place of not really being tied to anything or anyone or any place. So there's so much openness and possibility, and there always is. Even when you do have a partner or a job or a situation or something. But I think most of us can connect with that experience of when you just feel really free and light and buoyant in the world. And I'm moving more and more into one of those phases. And there's nothing really keeping me or pulling me in any certain direction. And what's been up for me is that the last couple years of my life have been completely devoted to recovering and healing from terminal chronic illness. And it's been working. It's still working. It's awesome. So, so thrilled about that. And I've wanted to do that, but also on some level, it's felt like I've done a lot of things that I did because I felt like I had to. And that worked at one point in my life, and it's not working anymore. And actually, this is really, really interesting. When the very first time that I actually went to the hospital when I was sick, I was in the hospital for about a week, and I remember feeling just so delirious, so sick, and on so many different medicines to try to stop this infection that was raging in my body, that it was just sort of like in and out of consciousness and only brief little flashes of memory and different things. And it felt like I was just sort of barely hanging on, fighting for my life. And I will never forget a moment in that was just in this delirium state of being, this moment of clarity that came through of where I realized I truly, truly believe a huge part of why I was sick is that I was living so out of alignment with my soul. Continually choosing to be in situations, relationships that were not good for me, and I knew weren't good for me, but I was too afraid to leave at that time. And I remember praying, and I remember just swearing to myself that I was not gonna die in a hospital. And I was not gonna die. I would find a way to get through this. And I knew that it would be somewhat of a long journey, but I just vowed to myself that making it through this, I was not going to live fear-based anymore. And what it feels like is, from that moment until now, has been a continuous journey of me dismantling all of the mindsets and beliefs that have kept me from myself and from just being who I authentically am and living in my truth and doing what I actually want to do with my life and being in the world. And it's been such a gift. And I'm not saying that's completely gone or dissolved, or I believe this is something we work on our whole lives. There will always be more to learn and more that comes up, but it is significantly different from then until now. And that was sometime, I believe that was like November of 2015 is that the memory. So here we are now, and I'm seeing all this possibility in my life, and I'm just realizing I want to live fully from my heart. And in this moment, I feel just absolutely on fire. Like there's nothing to lose. And it's so interesting because before, the old me was very, very focused on trying to arrange the circumstances of my life so I could be safe, so I could be happy, so I could be financially stable, all these different things. But ironically, the more afraid I was, the less any of the things I wanted actually came to me. And I've found through this journey that when you live in your truth, when you live in your alignment, when you live in your passion, everything that you need and many things that you wanted and things that you didn't even know you wanted just naturally show up. And when you release these old pains and old beliefs and old wounds, you create space for new things that life has to offer you to show up. I call it easy manifesting. It's creating room for the things you would like and then being willing to receive them versus going out and pushing to get to them. And I've talked about this before. When you're trying to get something, you're already telling yourself you're in a state of lack because you're saying you're without it. So you're already starting from a lower vibrational place. So my focus has shifted completely to, I'm not trying to chase money. I'm not trying to chase a career. I'm not trying to do the right thing or what I should do or try to make these circumstances fit. And I'm getting really, really comfortable with living in the state of, I don't know what the hell is going to happen next, but I trust that when I really follow my heart and follow my instincts, that life works out. And all of my experiential evidence actually proves that. Yet the mind is still afraid because whenever you do something new, it expands you. And when you grow, you can't see the expansion that's happening because you're going beyond what you were previously capable of. So the mind will go to fear because anything we haven't done is scary. We process that instinctually. So amazing stuff. So I want to live as much as humanly possible of just from my heart and watch everything else fall into place. And I will be your guys' personal experiment. We can see if this works. And it's crazy. I have all kinds of friends and family telling me, oh, this is a horrible idea and you really should go back to school or start working on this career or do all these different things. And I know that they're saying those things because they really love me and they really care about me and they want the best for me. But I also see that they're in their fear about those things. And that's not the level I want to live at anymore. And when you say no to your calling, you honor not living in your calling. And when you say no to the fear, you honor living in your calling and living in your heart. Every time you say yes to something, you say no to something else and vice versa. So I am saying yes to following that instinctual guidance system that comes one step at a time of do this, and you can feel it in your body. And we've also done this before. You can get into your body and feel the feeling of something that really excites you, that sets you on fire, that you feel passion for, and then we come up with all of the reasons why we can't do it, or it's not going to work out, or we shouldn't, or what if, I'm afraid. So what? Do it anyways. The worst thing that happens is it doesn't work out and you go back to living at this mediocre level anyways. And it's crazy to me because so many people spend a life saying, what if this happens, fill in the blank, in regards to following their passion. But why is nobody concerned about the fact that there are hundreds and millions of people, heck, billions of people, who are living completely unfulfilled lives, slaves to jobs and relationships and circumstances that they don't even want to be in, just so their mind can feel safe or feel like they're achieving something or feel like they're doing something. That, to me, is so much more terrifying than the idea of going broke or having to start over or whatever crazy thing my mind can tell me is going to equate to failure or something like that. Living a life where you consistently don't honor your calling and your passions is so much more painful to me than the risk, the potential risk, what we see or perceive as the potential risk of following your heart and following your dreams. And I've done the first one. I've done the fear one. I have done the not honor my calling, do what everybody thinks I should do list, and I can tell you from my experience it hasn't worked out. So I am willing to try the other one now and see. So I guess that's it. We'll all see how it turns out, and I will keep you guys updated as the journey moves along, and this could get very, very interesting. That's it. See you guys for now and catch you next time.